I've been looking for an apartment, but I have horrible credit. Cosigning.com helps you get a cosigner that helps you out to get your dream apartment. Don't let your horrible credit get you down. Cosigning.com has changed the game. I got a cosigner quick and easy. I couldn't have asked for a better service.
Women, we try to be girls, and we champion a woman for leaving her marriage unprovoked, or we celebrate a relationship ending, or we champion and cheer on a woman who plays a man publicly on the internet. Do you know what that does to your sister? We say we're girls, but we're really selfish, because anytime we champion rebellion against our men, it backfires on us. Men also watch the same videos that we put out, and they look at the comments of us going, yes, sis, you did that, eat that up, da 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 da. Yeah, you should have left that marriage. Happiness over everything. Y'all know that hurts your sister, right? Now, don't.
Many of them don't. They don't realize what they have done. See, we are in the age of information. Just like it's no longer possible for men to hide having multiple kids and multiple families, and he got a wife on this side of town, he got a girlfriend over here, he got a side chick over here. It's really not possible anymore, because you can track somebody with their phone, you can track their social media, you can find out anything you need to find out about someone. But that's for men. But the same thing now goes for women. See, we're in the age of disclosure. 20 years ago, regular guys, we had no idea what women were doing. We had no idea what women used to think. I'll be honest, we all thought all women were innocent, and that as long as the man didn't cheat, there'll be no problems in a relationship. Until the invention of social media, the phrase happy wife, happy life could have actually been true as far as you knew as a man. See, most men are dumb. We're slow. We're worker bees. We work, and then we come home. We want a wife there. We want our children. We go to sleep, and we repeat the next day. We don't really talk about our problems. We don't really care about much. But during that time of providing, idle hands are the devil's workshop. These women are able to move around to and fro, have secret lives, relationships, affairs, get pregnant by other men, and you think those are your children, and you would never be the wiser. But that's not the case anymore, because now we know the truth. And because we know the truth about what women are thinking and what women are doing, we're choosing to go the other way. I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine, one of my best friends back in LA, my boy Coles, he put me on to something, hashtag MGTOW. It stands for men going their own way. I understand exactly what that means. A lot of these women now, they do these podcasts and they do these shows, and I'm going to play some of these clips. She's referring to that, where these women are letting you know that when they see guys in the club, they don't really like them. They just pretend they like them so they can get free drinks. They flirt with them, but no intentions of ever having sex with them so that they can sit in his section. They got a guy for food. They got a guy for bills. They got a guy for sex. They got a guy for this, for that. But every guy only wants to be the guy for sex. So you're really doing all these other things for this woman who's never planning on having sex with you. So, but you don't know that. And thank God for YouTube and Instagram and podcasts, because now these women tell on themselves. They are letting us know what they're doing, and the results and the change is abrupt. I used to own a club back in LA, and I've done events over the years, and we were still in the age of we don't know. Back in the MySpace and Black Planet days, it was one simple page. I couldn't go back 5 years and look at your baby daddy or look at your Facebook page when you had that abortion 8 years ago, who the guy you were with, all the crying and fighting with the exes. I couldn't find out all your history. All I saw was that pretty picture of you on your page and whatever song you put on there. And that's all I knew. And that's when being in the dark was beneficial for women. But now they're out here in the spotlight. Now we know everything about you and we can't take it. We don't like it. Now men are becoming more conservative than ever. At first, we used to want to see girls naked for free on Instagram. But now there's so many women naked on Instagram. I look forward to seeing a woman with a nice dress on and dressed properly and looking upscale. I don't want to see twerking. I don't want to see, ratchet behavior. I don't want to see her naked pretty much pretending to play. I mean, if every woman is selling sex, there's not that many men that are buying anymore. I like she was talking about in this video. A lot of these women they're gassed up into leaving their relationships because they think there's something better waiting for them, but there's not. A lot of these people that you think are telling you, look, I'm looking at the comments, these people that are saying, you're so beautiful. I want to be with you. You should get a divorce, yada, yada. A lot of these are actually fake bot accounts and they're only on TikTok. They're not all over the world. They're not on every Instagram. Instagram is different. Facebook's different. And a lot of these people are manipulated by the algorithm to burn the man they're with, leave their relationship, and end up alone. See, they all, especially women, if you're coming from a certain racial background, you're going to leave your man. He's going to get with another woman and pick up right where you left off. You won't be able to replace him, but he can easily replace you. I'll repeat that. You and him are the same age. He can replace you with somebody younger. You don't have that option. Somebody younger is not looking to start paying your bills, giving you money, taking on your responsibilities, and then have to live with the fact that you've had sex with so many other men before you guys met. That's going to be a problem depending on the guy. Now, a lot of women I know, they're complaining. They're saying, Rico, I was at the club the other day and it was all women. I went out a few weeks ago. I was like on a little date or whatever with these two girls I date. We all hang out all the time and mess around. We're friends. I'm a good friend. I'm not no one's boyfriend. I'm the single boyfriend. So I'm everybody's boyfriend. I'm your fake husband when we're together because I wear a fake wedding ring and we're booed up. But once we're not together, it's over. You go do you, I do me. But you get to be my wife for the night. So we're all out together, me and my two girlfriends, and we're just looking around. Every single booth and table in there, 100% were women. I would say 95% was women. There was one table that had some dudes there, normal looking dudes with dreads and braids, and then a few minutes later, you see a chick walk over to their table to talk to them, and one of the guys grabs her arm and says, "Oh no, baby, that's my man." He said it. He said, "This is my man. This is my boyfriend." And the girl said, "Oh, okay." But the thing is, how can you be mad at that? These women celebrate gay men. So you're no longer allowed to find a boyfriend, a husband, a mate, because you've championed being gay to these men so much that now the men don't even want to deal with the women at all. You have all these crazy requirements that you talk about on these shows and these podcasts, and a lot of men are now just saying, why would I jump through all those hoops for a woman who is a prostitute? They're a 304. Her link is in the bio. You can literally go to her. I mean, right now, they said let's see here. They said that there's women between the ages of 18 and 34. There's, say there's 10 million. Say there's 10 million women within that age range in the United States. There's about 2 million women on OnlyFans. So that's like 20%. That's like 20%. Or no, that's like 10%. The entire available women are finding roundabout ways to sell sex on the internet. A lot of men are not interested in that. They don't want to do that. Don't get me wrong. It does sound fun for the night. If I'm out partying with my friends If I'm looking for a woman to mess with for the night or just to have fun with for the evening, and then, we don't talk no more, then this is perfectly fine. But if you're looking for the relationship, the one you got to hold her hands, take her to your mom's house, introduce her to your uncle and to your dad and to your family, her history is going to matter. Does she already have kids? Is going to matter. Was she ever a stripper? You would think that doesn't count, but it does. Everybody wants to know. And I know it sounds crazy coming from Rico. They're like, Rico, you live a certain type of lifestyle, which is true. And one thing I've had to, convince myself, and I've had to come to realize, is that every man does not live the lifestyle I live. Most guys are regular. Me, I can be an indefinite, on again, off again, boyfriend forever. I don't care what you're doing in your regular life. But a lot of the women that I deal with, every 3 months on rotation, every single woman, every 3 months, they get a bug in their ear. They meet a guy, or they're on Instagram or TikTok, and there's men in your DMs messaging you, begging, because you're pretty and you're putting up naked, half naked pictures on the internet, and everybody's telling you how much they would love to be with you, and they want a wife that looks like you, and they want to marry. They're lying. No one is going to marry a woman who's putting up naked pictures of her on social media for the world to. It sounds good because you want to smash. And if you talk about marriage, it'll probably get you in there with her quicker, because subconsciously, no matter what she says, that's what she wants to hear. So we're trained to just say what women want to hear, but we don't really mean it. But the thing is, now that a lot of men are being turned, because again, we learn how to treat women by what women say. Now women are just giving us so much information that we're just turned off. Again, a friend of mine was at a club yesterday in downtown LA, and he was like, there was no dudes in there under the age of 30. He was saying all the younger guys do not want to date. They don't even want to go to clubs. They're not throwing money. They're not spending money, because they know that these women are all just selling sex. And what's the point of him investing his emotions and feelings and time into a woman who is a prostitute? It won't make any sense for him. So they're just walking away. They say there's 1 out of 3 men under the age of 26 is still a virgin. They're just abstaining from sex and relationships with Western modern women altogether. So, and it's because we're watching these shows, we're listening to what women are saying, and we don't want to deal with it. I'm hearing all this stuff, and you know what I did? I moved to another country so I can just date women. I'd rather date women in another country, because at least the man-woman dynamic makes sense. The girls don't go out with a group of females and then there's one gay dude in every group. That's not a thing in another country. That's some American bullshit. The whole, let me just try to, see if I can roundabout way figure out how I can con them, scam them, and steal from them by begging for money for sex. That's literally, at least if you're in another country and women are running game on you, it's a lot cheaper to live there. So it's not the worst thing in the world. You can afford it. But over here, it's actually, it's a scam. And when you're finding out all this information and you're hearing what women really think about you, it makes you look at yourself. And, men already have an issue with feeling inadequate. And now a lot of men just have given up. I meet guys like this. I try to talk to them and give them advice or whatever, but I just couldn't imagine if I was turning 18 in this type of culture, in this type of environment where you can't even walk up to a woman and approach her and say hello, because everything is transactional. You'll meet a woman that you really, really like, but you can't, but if she's really, really pretty, you're running the risk of her being a sex worker. No matter, as long as she's 18, you're going to run the risk of her feeling like she should monetize her beauty, because everybody in her family, her friend circle, all the women on the internet are telling her she should monetize her beauty. So what are you supposed to do if you're a dude and you meet her, you're 18, she's 18, she wants to monetize her beauty, and you can't afford because you're just starting off in life. What are you supposed to do? That's why a lot of guys aren't even trying. So when they do become 25, 26, I mean, they're really just checked out. They're not all gay, but a lot of them do turn gay. You know, the thought of being called toxic, masculine, or accused of something, or being called a creep, or getting one of those labels, you know, a lot of men mentally overcorrect and just go the other way because they listen to women. Sometimes listen to them too much, you know, especially if you come from a single parent household where you're raised by your mom. That messes up a lot of these dudes. And that's literally the dating pool. That's the marriage pool that these women are trying to pull from. But like she's saying, the sisterhood is making your dating pool even worse. And she's absolutely correct.
Get me wrong, there are some women who do leave marriages for really specific reasons. But in totality, from what I've been seeing on the internet, a lot of it is just based off of happiness and being quote unquote miserable. There's a saying going around with men saying men will sacrifice their happiness for a marriage when women will sacrifice their marriage for their happiness. And this narrative is spreading like wildfire to the point where men are being very, very, very anti-dating. I don't want to say this to discourage anyone, but I need my sisters to understand that the more we broadcast our downfall of relationships, the more you share a one-sided story about how your relationship was so trash or how your marriage was so trash or whatever the case may be, although you feel like you're venting and you're helping, you're not.
I don't know about anybody else, but have you ever met somebody, you ever met a woman and you ask her like, hey, so, you know, why are you single? Like, what happened to your ex? And she tells you this story where no matter what the circumstances is, no matter what happened or, you know, whatever, she's the victim. He did something to her. It's never her. You guys ever notice that? I have. And sometimes I ask these questions of women who I know the man they were with. And they still will tell me the same lies that make her out to be the bad guy and him the good guy. I had one girl, she got caught cheating by her guy. And she made him into the bad guy because he should have never been stalking her or going through her messages to find that out. So it's not what you're doing was wrong. And he had every right to question these things. Because think about it. He's a man. He's already paying for you guys' lifestyle. They live together. He's not doing this for fun. We're, you know, for the most part, we used to date women for the purpose of marriage. In a transactional world, unless you're trying to buy a wife, it's not going to make sense. And then why would you buy a wife that's insubordinate anyway? Why would you purchase a wife? Why would you spend money on a woman who's not going to listen to you, who's going to probably eventually get into something in a weird mental space and walk out on you and your kids, and don't let you come up on some money? She's going to want half of that too. She's going to feel entitled to it. You know, it's amazing. I see women that as soon as they get married, or no, as soon as they get pregnant, they think that they get to retire from life. I'm like, what do you think this? No, people who have children go to work every day. Why do you think you get to just stop working? And the man has to pay for you and take care. Who told you this? But again, a lot of these men and women are coming from single family households, so they have unrealistic expectations of relationships. They think that a man is supposed to give everything to a woman and a woman just does whatever the hell she wants. So men have to be capitalists and they have to use their proceeds to give a woman a communist lifestyle where she just gets to live off of you and focus on herself and her art and just do whatever she wants and you pay for everything. That's not going to work, because if men and women are even, or if men and women are equal, how is that balanced? It's not. It's one-sided. So a lot of men are just, we're stepping back, and it's crazy. I'm meeting so many women that are older and beautiful and alone. Gorgeous. Well, but you know what? What is gorgeous in 2025 when you can go get all them damn surgeries? Everybody's gorgeous. So maybe they're not that beautiful. If you gotta take injections in your face every 6 months, if you're getting surgery where you have to be put under, multiple surgeries then really we don't know if you're naturally beautiful or not. You're really you're a robot. They have sex bots coming out, women robot strippers. They have artificial intelligence girlfriends that are literally just texting and talking to men because that's all a lot of these men want. And these women now are so caught up in how they look and they don't work on their personalities that they can't even talk to men. So men are using they're using AI girlfriends to keep their attention at night, and they have somebody to text. Like, it's insane. And we used to think using phone sex lines was weird. Now people have phone sex entire relationships with imaginary people. All of this because they would rather do that and deal with a machine than deal with a modern Western American woman.
You're actually harming the dating pool that's out there. You're actually harming your future prospects. It doesn't hit the way we think it hits. We trauma bond together. We hate the opposite side even more. It doesn't eat the way we think it eats. So if you...
Marriage rates destroyed. Pregnancy rates collapsing. Not just because of everybody sterilized for the most part after 2021, but just in general, men would rather die than to get one of these modern women pregnant because we see what they put other men through. I'm looking at Iman Shumpert and this Tiana Taylor situation. Destroyed. She gets on the internet talking about how she wants to get her back blown out by another guy. Just got through a divorce with this man. Talking about having sex with another man already, basically embarrassing Iman. And then saying, no, I got my own money. Everything I came in, he's an NBA player. You're a C-list black celebrity. You can't compare and make it seem like you guys came into the relationship equally yoked. That is a motherfucking lie. It's a huge lie. And to watch her try to justify and pretend like she didn't just take this man to the cleaners. Oh no, we did this together. We put money. Well, you don't have money like him to put. You can't piece up with him with anything. Let's just be real. The biggest, most accomplished thing Tiana Taylor ever did was dance good as hell, looking sexy as fuck, damn near 10 years ago in that Kanye West Fame video. I've never seen her in anything that I can remember since or before. Nothing matters. This man was in the NBA for years, professional player. I think they say he made $40 million before taxes. What's that? 20-something million after. Family, lifestyle, marriage. He's trying to, do real estate and do music so he can, have a nest egg whenever he's not playing in the league. And here she is taking that from underneath him. It just doesn't make any sense for men anymore. Think about it. The way I always look at marriages, for example, I look at everything as 20 years. Marriages are 20 years. So if you know a marriage is going to be on average 20 years, and that's in the mind of the single boyfriend, that's Rico's logic. Why would you start at 20 and then get divorced at 40? Those are the years where you don't want to be married, where you can do your own thing and grow yourself and work on yourself and have fun. And then have somebody in your ear screaming. And see, men, we can wait. Men can get married at 40. Men can get married at 50 to a woman who's 20, 25 and have kids with her. You don't have to do what women do. And we have to understand that about ourselves. But we keep doing it. A 40-year-old woman and a 40-year-old man, they're not going to be the same. His options and her options are completely different. A man can actually get married at 40. And then if it lasts till he's 60, he's good. However, marriage would make the most sense for a man if he's 50 until he's 70, because now those are your slow down years. You want to slow down, and it would be good to have a woman there with you. And through those times, you're going to get older, and depending on if you have any issues or whatever, you're going to need a damn near a nurse. And those are relationships that last the longest. I was just looking at Gene Hackman. He was 95 and his wife was 65. It's a 30 years age gap. And guess what? When he died, she died. That's when it makes the most sense. 20 and 20, 40 and 40, 50 and 50. What the fuck? Why? Okay. Name one 50-year-old man that's sitting around thinking, man, I can't wait to fuck this woman tonight. And somebody's like, really, who? And he's like, this 50-year-old chick I just met. What? Do 50-year-old women even have vaginas? Does that motherfucker, what do you even do with that? No, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't work. But you're still a man. You took care of yourself. You still like Rockweiler. So you're good. She's not. Different. You guys are going in different directions. But again, you lost a lot of years running behind women who were just tricking you, who were playing you, who used you, who got pregnant by you because you had a job, or she thought you were going to the NBA, or she thought you were doing music and they're trying to trap you. Now so many men are watching the manipulation from women. We're just not doing, we're just tuned out. We don't want to do it no more. We just don't want to participate. And we can't be mad at men for wanting to step away from this and not do it anymore. It just doesn't make sense logically for us to do. I'm gonna let her finish.
You care about your sister. If you're a girl's girl the way you say you are, if you're part of the sister the way we say we are, be careful before you press record and you post that video. It might just need to stay in the drafts. Did you?
Yeah, you know what? If you're a girl's girl, sister, you might as well just stay that way, because that's who you're going to be having sex with. When you guys are both cat ladies, you might as well just move in together to save money. You guys are not going to have kids. You don't understand. These women are turning 40, 45, 46, 48. They don't have children. And there's no man coming along. I meet these women sometimes and they're like, yeah, I'm still waiting on Mr. Right. You think there's a man that's older than you that's about to come into your life and take care of you and give you. I know a woman that I used to know, she's like 60 now, and she's still thinking she's cute, doing the videos out at the restaurants or whatever. In LA, of course. Obviously, I'm from LA. And she's 59, 60, still waiting on her talk, making posts about, when she gets her a man and this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You had a man 20 years ago. And you fumbled it because you were cute. That's the problem with looking good as a woman. You think you have more options than you do because the internet lies to you. And sure, some of these women are like, yeah, I can just go to Dubai and get pooped on. But is that really an option? I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that's true. I think if you go to Dubai to get pooped on, they're giving you maybe 5,000. Why would you give a woman 20,000 to poop on her from America when they literally have slaves from Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and all? You can poop on them. Why would you pay somebody from the United States to come over there so you can poop on when there's already people to poop on it or slaves already there? So I even think that narrative's a lie. I think they have to do way worse than get pooped on. And it just, but again, these are women that are for sale. And think about it. If she comes back to the United States, you meet her out at the club, you think she looks good. Here you are kissing up on her, telling her you want to take her out and all that. And then you find out a few months later after you've been dating her, she used to get pooped on by a dude wearing an all-white robe in Dubai with open-toe sandals and one of them things on his head. And he was just pooping all over your little girlfriend. It just doesn't make sense. Nobody wants the toilet girlfriend no more. We used to take them because we didn't know, but now that we know that all these women want to sell their sexuality, all these women they would take some of the money and get pooped on. They'll sell feet pics. They'll sell OnlyFans. They'll escort. They'll do whatever. You're not about to invest too much of your time and money into it. A lot of men are just saying, you know what? I'll just not deal with no women, or I'm gonna get a passport, go to another country where women are more simple because money hasn't corrupted them like it has here in the United States. Yeah, the women here aren't getting pregnant, but men are from the United States are still going to other countries and having children and having families. They're just not having family with the American women. And that means the American society is going to eventually buckle and collapse. It's crazy. I mean, I'll be honest, the only way we can survive, I'm going to keep saying this, is if there is an EMP bomb that wipes out all of our electronics and we have to go back to a horse and buggy lifestyle. That's the only way things will turn around and it'll be more pro-family, pro life, pro parents, pro child. In the way we're going right now, it's the exact opposite trajectory. So do me a favor, share the video, like and subscribe. The Single Boyfriend on Instagram, on the Single Hubby on X, the Single Boyfriend on YouTube. We have another couple of topics coming up, but Anton Daniels did a video on this, and I wanted to join that conversation, so I wanted to make this. So like and subscribe, share the video, hit the button, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Thanks, and be back in 2 and 2.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.